Success in the war required the total commitment of the nation's resources. On the home front, public education and the mass media promoted nationalism. When it came to our economic resources, this war, as this image implies, is proving that our American way can outproduce, outfight, and simply outlast any other system in the world. The United States government and industry needed to forge a very close working relationship in order to allocate the resources effectively to ensure this victory. One way that everybody could help was through rationing. Rationing are fixed allotments of goods to be consumed at home. The idea of this is to maintain the supply of essential war products for the war. So it would include things like rubber, silk, fuel, and food. People saw rationing and their participation in these programs as their own individual way that they could help the war effort. And as this poster implies, if you ride alone, you ride with Hitler. Therefore, if we join a carpool today, we can defeat the Axis powers. This war is going to cost a tremendous amount of money. It will be the most expensive war to date. How are we going to pay for this war effort? Well, we want to keep this horror from our home. So income taxes are going to be increased drastically. War bonds will need to be sold, and a war bond is when an individual would purchase a bond from the government, that is, allow the government to use that cash immediately for the war, and then after the war, the person could turn in that bond and collect their cash back with a little bit of interest. Americans took great pride in buying bonds to assist the war effort. As you can see from this poster, invest 10% of your income in war bonds, and you will be helping do your part. Even celebrities got in on the action. Celebrities were used to help sell the war bonds. They would make personal appearances in cities and towns all across the United States trying to sell war bonds. They would give autographs and raise money to fight this war.
Women played a big role before entering the war. Women were affected because of the Women's Auxiliary Army Corps. They could now join the army. In the army, they worked as nurses, ambulance drivers, radio operators, electricians, and pilots. They were the first women, other than nurses, to serve with the army. While most women served stateside, some went to various places around the world, including Europe, North Africa, and New Guinea. They mobilized the women to be ready for the war. Thanks to the New Deal, programs established by Franklin Delano Roosevelt during the Depression prior to the war, a large percentage of the U.S. population was already in federal service. In addition, when the federal government ordered large amounts of industrial goods, firearms, tanks, planes, trucks, and just about everything else, this created massive numbers of jobs for the heavily unemployed U.S. populace. During World War II, American propaganda was used to increase support for the war and commitment to an Allied victory. Using a vast area of media, propagandists fomented hatred for the enemy and support for America's allies, urged greater public effort to war production and victory gardens, persuaded people to save some of their material so that more material could be used for the war effort, and sold war bonds. Patriotism became the central theme of advertising throughout the war, as large-scale campaigns were launched to sell war bonds, promote efficiency in factories, reduce ugly rumors, and maintain civilian morale.